There are shows in this world that we will never fully understand, except Ghost Adventures. We have watched every episode to build our obsession, our fandom.
Watching alongside each other because no one we know really gives a damn. Watching Zach and crew catch groundbreaking proof of the paranormal, inspiring us to explore our own interest in otherworldly phenomena. This is our podcast. We are Paranormal Putas.
Bro.
Perfection.
After like 30 fucking takes, we finally got it fucking laid down, baby. My God, can we just let me just take a second. Today's been wild to get us to this point to actually record the episode. I feel like we've been through hell and back.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's been a wild ride of a day, but hey, everybody, it's me, Leah.
And it's me, Bethany.
And we are here to talk a little Ghost Adventure Season
Woo-woo!
6.
Ghosty woasty time.
Yeah. I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too. This is episode 3 of Season 6 Ghost Adventures, titled Old Town San Diego.
San Diego.
And it aired in 2011, and that's all the information Max gives us. So I don't know what month in 2011 or day. I'm sure we could Google it, but
Yeah,
you know,
we did it. We're just some fucking putas, so deal with it.
It was 2011. Okay, that's all you need to know. So the guys go to a place called the Cosmopolitan Hotel and restaurant. I thought it said like refinery or something.
No.
Anyways. Yes. So between 1827 and 1829, Juan Bandini had a U-shaped home built off the corner of the plaza. Compared to most of the other modest adobe casas, Casa de Bandini was a grand mansion and the social center of town.
Hell yeah, man. And that's really all the Ghost Adventures guys talk about is like how much this dude raged and partied. And like as soon as they walk in the house, they're like, let's party.
Yeah. They also mentioned, they were like, oh, this town's close to the border, and that will come in handy later, that little nugget of information.
Yes.
But anyways, they also, in this hotel, there is a room, the 1880 saloon room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about having seen bottles moving and stuff.
Yeah, so I think at this point they're talking to Miguel, and he's the one really telling the guys about everything that's going on. To Bethany's point, they see bottles moving in the bar, in the saloon area, in the gaming room. There's chairs moving, and they say the ghosts play chess. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so Bandini, as Leah said, was a Peruvian settler and made this place into Party Central. And because it was Party Central, of course, the guys had to do a shot challenge. So Nick,
oh gosh,
has to play all Macho Man, and he what's the word, like dares, or what's the word,
like antagonizes, or like
what's the word,
bullies, like
there's a word like
peer pressure,
almost like when you slap someone with a gauntlet, like to a duel, what's the word I'm looking for? A challenge. I love how I had to.
I think it's literally written down in the notes too as like a shot challenge. No shit, I'm gonna find this note. Shot challenge, Nick versus Zach. Shot sequence. It's literally in the note.
I probably even wrote it too. I'm all like, slap
and we're
someone with a
like,
gauntlet. Let me slap you in the face with a glove.
Why do we even take notes?
Oh, dear baby Jesus, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long
we should have left you.
Anyways, so Nick challenges Zach to a shot off. And they take all these shots, and it's a big like sequence, and like you wrote about how Aaron,
I love it. So the guys are like shot, and like they're trying to make it like they're getting drunk. So then Aaron's like shot, like the way it's edited, it's all distorted. Shot, It's ridiculous. And I think they make the comment at the end of the sequence like, oh, it's just root beer.
Yeah, but that also is like, I wonder if they had to say that or if it really was root beer or if maybe they did both. You know, we'll never really know.
Because Zach acts a little weird later, like throughout the rest of like the interviews and stuff. Like maybe he had some drinks. If not, like he was just acting fucking weird.
Yeah.
A little something, something.
We'll get there. We'll get into it. That's what I said.
Oh my goodness. The guys talked to a couple other people like Joseph Muello, who was the owner of the location at the time. And he's just letting Zach know about the experiences that he's had. He talks about lights flickering in the building, people having physical responses, stomach aches, goosebumps, things along those lines. He also goes on to tell, and at that point, they're still with Miguel. And Miguel's the one who goes on to tell the guys about the specifically haunted rooms in the Cosmopolitan Hotel that the guys are going to investigate. And I think it really starts with room number 4. And that's the one where apparently a young girl died and the father in her memory carved furniture. And one of the pieces of furniture was a bed frame. And there's a face in the bed frame. And it's apparently the face of the little girl. The bed's over 120 years old. And so people claim to see the little girl or feel the presence of a little girl because her, memorial furniture is in that room. The furniture looks creepy as fuck. So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure it's scary in there. Yeah.
But I know, I love that people have a response to it. They're like,
There's a couple other rooms, like room 11, where I guess Gabriella Bandini spent some of her time. So people claim to see curtains moving or an indention in the bed, like someone's sitting there, but you can't see anybody, but maybe somebody's there.
yeah.
So things like that happening in room 11.
Yeah. And then at this point in the conversation, because, they're doing like their pre-investigation, walkthroughs and talking to people. They're walking through the town, getting their little stories. And a fan comes up and like hugs Nick in the middle of the fucking conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Like, and he's there holding the camera and like he's got his arm around her and he's like like trying to take a picture on the side while he's recording Zach. And it's funny to me, and I made the note because like Zach's like, oh, well, I guess we gotta stop the whole interview. But then Zach swoops in and gets the girl like off of Nick and like puts his arm around her to take a picture. And I'm just like, you couldn't help yourself, man.
Yeah.
You couldn't help yourself.
Yeah.
You had to swoop in there.
Yeah. And then they take pictures with like everyone who's there. There was like a crowd of people.
Yeah, it was pretty cool
that were there. I mean, yeah, cool of them to do that, but he did it. It felt like out of ego of like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Fuck Nick.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's just stop recording and I'll take pictures with everybody. Yeah. So Zach being Zach.
And then I think at that point, he talks to a woman who worked at the hotel, and like Leah said, she was kind of like a cosplayer, or like she was dressed in period outfits, and she talks about her time working there and how she saw like a pile of safety pins in like a little pyramid that wasn't there, just appeared there or some shit. I was like,
poltergeisty activity. Yeah.
And then she also saw like a chair move, out, like it slid out a foot ish.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, she had like some subtle stuff happen for sure.
Yeah. Now the cool thing about this one, and I kind of like when they do this, when they go to like small towns and stuff like that, they tend to investigate multiple locations. So this is an episode like that. So that was the breakdown where the guys are walking through the Cosmopolitan Hotel. But the second piece of their investigation is them hanging out at Casa de Estudio. And that's cool too. It's I guess it's kind of in the family of the Bandinis. Like it's apparently the house of the father-in-law of Bandini. So there's family ties in this episode.
According to the wikis, Casa de Estudio is one of 3 national historic landmarks in Southern California that were closely tied to Ramona, a novel of California life shortly after the American acquisition of California. I don't know. I'm just looking at
Wiki scratch. And honestly, there really wasn't a lot said at the location. My notes really consist of There's visions of a woman there, and people claim to see a monk. Apparently, monks used that building for various ceremonies. So people still claim to hear and see things associated to those ceremonies.
Yeah. And back then, 1827, when it was constructed, it was considered one of the finest houses in Mexican California.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this Estudio family was like super prominent. So, you know, they were like nobility.
Yeah.
So they had that money.
Scratch. Heck yeah. I think there was a point in the show where I guess, but this was back in regards to Bandini, I think, but spending like upwards of $30,000 a week on parties, which is wild because you think about the time period and what that would be today.
Yeah. Yeah, the inflation on that's fucking insane.
Donk. Dude. Millions of dollars a week. It's crazy.
So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as like the history really goes. But the guys are still doing their walkthrough, and fucking Zach is talking to this woman. Do you remember this woman's name?
I don't.
She was a sweet older lady, and she's like so genuine, like trying to give Zach this tour of the space and give him the history of the house. And he's like on one, dude. And my note said, why is this so ridiculous? Like, and it gets to a point where like, he's just being so ridiculous. Like, he can't say the word cattle. He's saying kettle, and he doesn't understand her. So they sit there and say kettle and cattle for like a whole fucking minute. And he makes like really weird sexual jokes about like the parties they were having. And by the end of this, she's just so fucking fed up.
Yeah.
And then she just starts playing into it, and then she shows them a garden, and he's like, haha, zucchini, and she's like, yeah, it's a big one. And he was like, oh, plants have penises, and she was like, I guess, Zach, I fucking guess. Like,
she goes, yeah, this one has a couple of them or something like that. Like,
I don't know, it was just like,
it was weird. He proposed at one point.
Oh yeah, at one point he proposed to her. Why? It was because he was talking about how like or she was telling him how like back in those times, if your father told you to marry someone, you would marry someone, like whatever. It was like, oh, they married because they had money. And he was like, so if I was told to marry you, I would have to. Yeah. And then he proposed, and it was like just so weird.
So weird. So he's always kind of like, he can be cringe, but this was not really cringy. It was just weird. It was off.
Yeah, and that's when Leo was like, I wonder if he's drunk. Is he on drugs? Like, what is going? Is he uncomfortable? And like, I don't know. It was a very bizarre interaction.
Yes, very bizarre.
How bizarre.
I love that song. But is that like it?
Yeah, bro, that's it.
That's
and
it.
The crazy thing is, and you know, per usual, the beginning portion was so massive that I knew like, man, they're probably not gonna find a lot of shit in this one. Like, they're going to 2 locations for one, and more like about half the episode was introductory shit, or like, you know, and then they had like the whole shot thing and like little. I don't know.
Little
anytime
skits and stuff. Yeah, because there was a skit we didn't mention. We're gonna bring it up later. But there was a skit like early on in the episode. So yeah, I get that, and we've talked about that before. It's all filler. It was a lot of filler.
It was a lot of filler, and I feel like, because I kind of forgot about that, although I know I was gonna remember it because it's in our notes later. But I feel like that moment is like a harbinger, right? It's don't watch because this is really bad.
It's cheese central,
so
bro.
Cheesy.
Oh, it's thick with the cheese.
Yeah, it is.
It's bad. But that was it, really, pre-investigation. Like, there wasn't really a lot of history for us to jump into. Yeah. So this dude partied. His energy's still there. There's ties. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's do.
Honorable haunts and
skimpy scares. There we are.
Oh, Jesus.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's
was
the
trying
ticket.
To get to. Oh, man. Let's jump in, man.
Okay.
All right. So the guys kick off their investigation at Casa Estudio, but we're going to run this in order because that's what we do with the skimpies first. So, baby girl, tell us your first skimpy.
Oh my god. Okay. So the skimpy scare that I got was just cold spots and goosebumps. Lots of cold spots and goosebumps. And I'm just like, ugh, okay, I get it. Like, Cold spots and goosebumps. I mean, I hate getting those in haunted places too, but like, this is a TV show, bro.
Yeah, we need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, something a little more substantial. What was your honorable / skimpy?
So it actually happened when they were doing the second part of their investigation at Hotel Cosmopolitan. The guys captured a light source. So you actually see a video and it's like a red kind of flare off to the left side of the camera. But they can't source it, is why I put it a skimpy. Miguel claims there's nothing in that corner but a closet, so nothing that would really create a red light. But again, the guys couldn't really source it, so they didn't claim it to be paranormal. They just said it was unexplainable. So I was like, oh, all right. So I put it as a skimpy honorable because it was cool, but to their point, they really didn't know what it was.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and I appreciate when they do that.
Yeah. So, and that was it. After that, everything else I got was pretty honorable, actually.
Same here. Yeah, all I got were mostly honorable haunts.
Yeah, so let's jump in. I think the first one for me was back at Casa Estudio, and it was the footsteps that the guys heard. So they're talking, asking questions, getting into it, and they ask some questions in Spanish, which is always kind of funny when they do that to me, like in my opinion anyway. But they're talking, and then they get footsteps, and the footsteps are actually pretty solid.
Yeah, I had that one as well.
Yeah.
After that one, I wrote Nick back orb, then dizzy. So there's a moment where Zach is, conducting the investigation, but you see Nick look at the camera, and then they kind of like cut back and tell you what's going on. And you see Nick look at Aaron and like say something. And there's like an orb floating around like through Nick's back. And then Nick starts to get kind of dizzy.
Yeah.
And I like that because it's like you see him reacting to something. You don't know what it is. And he's calling attention to it by being like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you see the orb. Like, I don't know. I like when you can see it as well as like see them go through it.
Yeah, that's fair. My next note in that same location, I guess it's not, I just made a note. So I don't really know if this is like honorable or skimpy. It's just a fact of what happened in the show. But Zach locks Nick in a room, essentially like pushes him in there and is like, you're going to go record. And Nick's like, wait. But Zach just locks his ass in there and he's like, yep, this is how we're going to do that. And walks away. And I just thought that was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I bring that up again later.
Oh, yeah.
That was a moment. Okay. So the next thing that I got after that is when they brought out the obelisk.
They brought out the obelisk.
When they brought out the obelisk. And they got some pretty cool stuff. Like they got some fairly intelligent responses through it. Zach was asking questions and he got the words digging, grass, Mandy, Rose, and base.
Oh yeah. So then of course Zach's like, was it Mandy who liked to dig in her garden and pick roses and put them in a vase?
But Leah's boyfriend said that it meant that some guy was digging on Mandy.
Oh yeah, digging on Mandy. And we were like,
and I was like in the grass.
It is what you want it to be. So it was pretty great.
But it was pretty cool because he was asking questions, like, what are you doing? And it was like digging, what are you digging? Grass, things like that. So it was pretty intelligent. And that's why I put it as an honorable. Oh,
for sure. And I like this point in the show because the guys are separated and they do this a couple of times in this episode. So that's something that Zach captures all on his own. My next honorable is another capture, and this is still Zach. He's using a thermal scan. And it's just picking up, it reads, right, like when it changes. So his little graph is going off. And then he gets an EVP that says, I see a man. So then Zach's like, oh, is this thing going off? And because it sees me, is it responding to me? And I was like, oh, man, that's pretty brutal. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that one was a really cool one. The I see a man.
Yeah. They got some good EVPs.
Am I cutting out on your end? Okay, cool. Because I can't hear me.
Oh, shit.
Another really cool EVP moment was a whimper that Nick caught.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking creepy, bro.
It was high pitched.
That was really good. Yeah.
That was really cool. And then the next one that I have in this location was Aaron. And I think he gets the EVP, I want you to pray. And Aaron's by like that it's like a creepy statue, or it's not, it's like a doll mannequin, like a clothes mannequin, and they have it dressed up in like period clothes. And so Aaron's there and he captures the EVP, I want you to pray. And then Aaron's like, is it this statue that, is saying that to me? And, because it's dressed like it's going to church. It has like a veil and all this stuff. But it was cool because you can hear it on the EVP.
Yeah. No, I like that one too. That one was really cool. And fuck that little mannequin that was all dressed up there. Like, why the fuck are you going to have that shit in there? That's creepy. Another honorable that I had, it was kind of going back to Zach getting stuff in that room where he was talking to it, and it was like, I see a man and stuff. So there was a lot of energy in that room, and Zach starts to ask, like, where are you in this room? And he gets the response, Central. Yeah. And that's like right where all like the hub of their high frequency equipment is. So I appreciated that one.
Yeah, that one was good. Tech related, audio related, pretty solid.
Yeah.
You got any more at Casa de Estudio?
No, the only other ones I got were ones that you had already mentioned, the one with Zach and Aaron. So yeah, I think that was it for Casa de Estudio.
All right, man. So let's head down to Hotel Cosmopolitan and Bar and Grill. No.
Book your vacation today.
No, man, this one kicks off, and we thought it was actually really cool. Like the way that they intro this location, Zach is going like balls deep with a fucking like trigger object party. Yeah. Like it was pretty cool. But I thought it was funny because me and Bethany were watching it, and we kind of zoned out for a second. And like I came to when Zach starts like pounding down on the table with all the equipment that they're going to use in this segment. I was like, whoa, like some shit's about to pop off.
Yeah.
I should be paying attention.
And she was like, I dazed out. And I was like, me too. Like I dazed out at the exact same time. How creepy is that?
It was very creepy, but we rewound it. Thank you, Max, for letting us do that. And we were able to note all the cool shit. So the guys go in to Hotel Cosmopolitan and they want to recreate a party. So what they do is they have thermal cams set up, digital recorders set up on shot glasses. They have whiskey, they have cigars, they have cards out, X cams. They bring in full spectrum cameras. And then Zach says 6 EMF vortex pumps to pump energy. And then they bring in actual dancers and musicians to recreate a fucking party. And Zach's like, all right, we're gonna, when I say go, everybody goes, and when I say stop, everyone stops. Or he says auto, he goes, because that means stop.
Yeah.
So he yells auto.
So ridiculous.
And everything shuts down, and then they stand in silence and wait to hear something. So that's how they start their time in Hotel Cosmopolitan, which I just think is cool because it's like, all right, let's stir up the energies and then try to go investigate.
Yeah, I really liked that part too. And I feel like, again, he's kind of on one in that one because he was all like, 6 cams, 5 BBPs, dancer. And I was like, whoa, bro, he is juiced. He is fucking juiced.
You sounded like the fucking 6 EMFs 10.
That's basically what it was. I mean, that's really what it was. I love how Leah wrote down all those beautiful notes, and I wrote all the equipment in whiskey. That's my note. All the equipment in whiskey. Leah's like 6 EMF pump magnetic field.
Well, the tech juices me up, bro. Yeah. I'm a sucker for EMF pump.
Good dork.
I'm sorry, I had to. It was there.
No, it's good. It's good.
Oh man, but they get some good stuff. Like I don't have any skimpies here. The first honorable I have is they actually capture a woman's voice while they're doing this experiment. So the first time Zach says auto, nothing happens. The second time he says it, they capture a woman's voice, and he asks the woman dancers, like, were y'all singing? Did y'all say something? And they're like, no. They run it back, and you can hear like it sounds like 2 women talking in the EVP. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was like the only one that I wrote before the last one. So you have the floor.
Alrighty. In this one, like I said, the guys separate a lot in this episode. So in this one, Zach goes to room 4 and 5, Nick goes to room 11, and Aaron goes to room 2. So Aaron in his gets an EVP sound that sounds like a male cough. It's like, like that's it. But it's clear and it sounds like a cough. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty honorable. That's pretty solid. Nick gets, like pray for him, or an EVP that says pray, help him after getting EMF spikes. So here come the spikes, and Nick's like, oh, it's getting higher and higher. And he's like, are you standing in front of me? Are you here? And then EVP, pray, help him. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And then the last one I have is Zach's EVP, where he thinks it's saying Bandini, and it does kind of sound like that. It sounds like it goes Bandini, Bandy, or Bandy. Yeah, Bandy. So Zach's like, is this associated to Bandela?
To Bandini. Is he trying to say Bandini?
So, possibly. And that's pretty cool and pretty honorable.
Yeah, that was the last one that I had too.
Oh, damn, I did not mean to do that to you. You should have stopped me. Let's roll.
Zach's fashion ball. It's the full moon energy. We're going to do it again.
Go.
Zach's fashion ball. Yes. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Oh, it's my favorite time. Zach's fashion for
Do it to it, big sister. Do it to it.
He's wearing like an army green shirt, and it has like red and black accents. At first, it's not bad, and then he turns around. And then you see that it says Rebel Spirit on the back top of his shirt. It's like going across his shoulders. Rebel Spirit, and like dazzled sprinkles and like black and red gems. And I'm just like, you couldn't help yourself, could you, Zach?
No.
Could you?
And you love it.
I love it.
Don't you love it?
There was also a moment. Zaddy's wearing a bowler hat. And this happens in the bar scene where they're taking their shots and things like that. And somehow he ends up in Miguel's hat and he's wearing it. And I was like, or it was actually Bethany who was like, is this where it all began? Is this the first time Zach put on a bowler hat and there was just no fucking going back? Like, is this the moment?
I said, is that the same bowler hat in his haunted museum promo? Is like his pictures.
Oh, yeah, where he's all like hands out bowler hat.
Hands out bowler hat.
Classic paranormal shot. Yes, and then after that, I thought it was funny because then in the investigation, he's in all black. You don't really notice anything, but when they go into night vision cam, all of a sudden his fucking shirt has like designs on the shoulders and the back that you could not see in regular vision camera.
Was that on purpose?
Right.
Is my question.
Oh, 100%. He was like, what? A shirt that you can only see designs in fucking night vision? Like, yeah.
Interesting.
It was mind blowing. I was like, whoa.
It was a great illusion.
But man, that's it for the fashions, baby. Pretty straightforward. Pretty zaddy.
Pretty zaddy.
This episode's doomed. Sorry, y'all.
Now on to my favesies. Zany Zaddy says,
What? Holy shit.
yeah, that's my segment.
Take it away, baby girl.
Great grab your sombreros, everybody. It's gonna be a party.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
Okay, so this is it. This is the harbinger. This is the moment where we should have turned around. It's within like the first 2 minutes of the episode.
Oh yeah, it's early.
It's very early on.
30 seconds in.
Zach is with some mariachis and he's wearing a fucking sombrero and he goes,
Grab your sombreros, muchachos. Ghost Adventuras is locking down.
Ghost Adventuras.
Adventuras.
Not even like Adventuras Fantasma or like
No.
Fantasma.
No.
What was it?
Muchachos.
Muchachos.
Ghost Adventuras is locking down.
Sombreros. Muchacho.
and he's holding a little sombrero. So yeah. And then I have to do this next one. I'm sorry.
take it away. I know you're real excited about this one.
And then he proceeds to do a really shitty fucking grito. And he's all like, "Ay, ay, 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 ay,
And that's when he's wearing the sombrero.
ay." Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow,
What?
you can't, no, like,
Can't do that. You can't do it.
that would have never aired in today's climate, I'll tell you what. Anyways, do you want to do the next one?
Oh, of course I do. Of course I fucking do. We kind of already mentioned this one. It's when Zach's walking around being a little weirdo in the investigation. They're hanging out in the garden. They see some zucchinis. And because Zach has the fucking mentality of like a 13-year-old boy, he goes,
This plant has a penis. This plant has a penis. It's big. It's a big one.
He kind of sounded like what's it, Beavis? No, Butthead, not Beavis. Beavis is like, he sounded like Butthead.
This plant has a penis.
That should be our fucking Halloween costume. Anyways. The last one is one that Leah mentioned earlier. So there's a moment where Zach pushes Nick into a room alone to investigate. And it's so fucking shitty because he just like shoves Nick in this room. And Nick is like, man, I have to set up because, it's like pitch black, And he's like, I have to set up, man. Come on. And Zach just fucking locks the door from the outside, walks away and says,
No, it's best this way. It's best this way.
he says it twice. Quote,
No, it's best this way. It's best this way.
end quote.
whoa.
And that was on the closed captions.
We hit pause. We know.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's just absolutely bonkers. Or he's just like, no, it's better this way. But again, like we've mentioned it since season 1, there's tension between Nick and Zach, and it only gets more palpable the closer we get to like season. When does he leave? Like 12?
Oh my God, yeah, not soon enough, man.
Yeah,
like
not
9.
No, yeah, pretty.
I think it's like 9.
It's pretty. We have a few more seasons to go,
Yeah.
but it's becoming more, predominant.
Yeah.
Like we see it a few times in this episode with the shot challenge.
Yeah.
We see it with the paparazzi or whatever, the fans.
Right. Pushing him in the room.
Exactly. And then we see it here when he's pushing him in the room.
Yeah. Brutal. These guys really hate each other.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was like the history, the haunts, the fashions, the zaddies.
Yeah.
I think it's time to rate this baby.
Yeah, I think so. And it feels kind of weird. Like, I feel like everything is so choppy, and I think this was just a weird, discombobulating episode,
Yeah. So it is for us as well. We just go with the flow of the guys.
Yeah.
Like, whatever the guys give us is what we have to work with.
Yeah.
So
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
don't
I
get
feel
mad at us. Get mad at them for putting out this episode.
It has weird energy, this episode. And now our episode has fucking weird energy.
Oh, it's
so,
true.
anyways, how many claws? What are you rating this baby?
I'm going to give it like 2 claws.
Bro, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I was thinking little talons.
Yeah.
Just a quick little eye gouge. 2 claws.
2 claws. 2 claws. That's it.
Yeah. Because, it was fine. Like, it wasn't... I don't know.
I mean, we got a lot of honorables.
Yes.
And that's cool. Like,
Yes.
we only had 2 kind of skimpies out of all the haunts. So that's really good. But yeah, like, it was still just a lot of filler. The history wasn't that entertaining. Like, it wasn't like anything crazy or spooky or I don't know. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
I just wasn't fulfilled.
Yeah. Again, just weird.
Yeah. Weird.
And Zach was being weird.
Zach was weird. I think that's it too. Because like when we give things 5 claws, it's like they're funny, it's spooky, it's like it doesn't have a lot of filler. Like there's various aspects, and this one was just kind of bleh.
Yeah, agreed.
So, and it definitely left me feeling weak. So I think I need a cleanse.
Bro, I
Please.
was fucking hoping you'd say so.
Omni rigere suminaro. Omni rigere suminaro.
That's the money.
Boom. Now take your big deep breath in. Release it out. Damn. You're lighter, you're brighter. Your skin's a little tighter. You're cleansed.
Woo, baby, it feels good. Thank you.
It feels good. Yeah. It feels good. That's the best part, and you stole it from me.
Oh,
so
sorry.
until next time. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I could do nothing right.
You can have it. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We hope this doesn't discourage you and hope that you come back to see us again. Until then, I'm Bethany.
And I'm Leah.
And we're signing off with two besitos.
From these potitos. Jazz hands.
I can't. I just can't.
Jazz
I just
hands.
fucking can't.
You can hear the hands that are jazzy.